Now on course from the University of Wisconsin in Madison, it's Emily Duncanson. She'll be followed by Lafayette College's Julia Mason, and then from University of Rochester, that is Marlise Combe. Now it's Duncanson coming across the stripe from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in a time of 1:30.84. She was preceded by Cornell University's Jessie Evans. As we take care of some of our stream difficulties here, didn't want to miss Jessie Evans' run from Cornell. Good enough for 29th position. Then it's Duncanson in 33rd position. And next we'll see Julia Mason from Lafayette College.
Julia Mason, a really fast skier, boss. She finished 5th at regionals. Also an avid crew contestant. Great rower. She's definitely got some strength.
And across the stripe, it's Julia Mason from Lafayette College in a time of 1:32.02, good enough for 35th slot. Now into the lower third comes Marlise Combe from the University of Rochester. And she'll be followed by Sophie LeBlanc from Clarkson University. LeBlanc, a ski racer out of Carabasset Valley Academy up in Sugarloaf, USA. And across the stripe now, it's Marlise Combe from Rochester in a time of 1:25.08. A good run for Marlise Combe. That'll put her in top 20 so far in the 19th slot. Meanwhile, Sophie LeBlanc, she looks like she is really moving up here in the center part of the course. She had a tough top section. And let's see if she can keep it going. Sophie LeBlanc now from Clarkson University. 5 gates to go for LeBlanc. Here comes Sophie LeBlanc, now into the tuck, and across the stripe comes Sophie LeBlanc into the finish corral with a time of 1:22.25. A good run for LeBlanc. That'll be good enough for 15th position for Sophie LeBlanc. Now it's Monica Redenti from St. Anselm College. She'll be followed by Kelsey Fosh from the University of Minnesota Duluth. And now on course from Rocky Mountain College, it's Jessica Wolf.
Of course, Monica Redente, a 19-year-old sophomore from St. Anselm, chemistry major. She was raised by wolves, and you can see it here with the ferocity with which she attacks this course. She is a hunter, boss, and the gates are her prey.
St. Anselm's Monica Redente across the stripe in 1:24.15. Good enough for 17th place. Now it's Minnesota Duluth's Kelsey Fosh. She's followed by Rocky Mountain's Jessica Wolf. And now Brown University's
Kaya
Mosenthal in the start shack, awaiting her first run. Let's quickly go over your top 10 here. In 10th position from Brown University, it's Nika Mosenthal. Then from St. Anselm, Caitlin Forbes in the 9th slot. 8th belongs to Emma LeBlanc from Brown University. Then it's Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College in 7th. In 6th from St. Olaf, it's Katie Olvstead. Rounding out your top 5 from the University of Massachusetts in 5th, Shannon Bloom. Then Samantha Bisnair from the University of British Columbia in 4th. Current podium looks like 3rd place of Caroline Cleason from Sierra Nevada College. Nicole Polchuk from University of Nevada, Reno in 2nd, but still leading from Sierra Nevada College, the first runner out of the gate this morning, Matea Firk. While Jessica Wolf from Rocky Mountain College crosses the finish line into the corral with a time of 1:29.16, good enough for 31st. She's followed by Kai Mosenthal. Mosenthal really trying to win a national championship last year in the slalom competition, slid out in the second run. A tough break for Mosenthal, but she has got the skills and she can lay down a fast run here as Kaya Mosenthal into the final 2 gates from Brown University, and across the stripe, it's Kaya Mosenthal with a time of 1:21.73, good enough for 11th position.
And of course, she's got some friendly sibling rivalry with her sister, Nika. It's a great thing in ski racing to have a little friendly competition. It can really improve your time. It looks like Madison McInnes out of University of Washington had a little trouble up there on that final pitch. She slid out on one of those hard left turns. A tough day for Madison, but we'll see her on Friday, boss.
Now from Lafayette College, we're in bib 51. It's Catherine Conate from Lafayette. She'll be followed by University of Connecticut's Amanda Breedy. And then at the start shack, it's Casey Ryder from the University of Massachusetts. Now coming into the center section, it's Catherine Kone from Lafayette. 101 racers scheduled to start here in the first run of the 2012 USCSA Women's Alpine Giant Slalom.
Looks like she lost a little bit of speed there, boss. She was 48th at the first interval. She's going to have to pick up some speed if she wants to make the flip.
Once you slow down, Alex, it is tough to get going again, especially here in the bottom section as things begin to flatten out. It's certainly not as steep in the lower third as it is in the center section. And once you have scraped the speed out of the center section, making the transition into the flats in the lower section, it is tough to get going again. Across the line is Catherine Kone from Lafayette, a time of 1:38.19. Now here comes University of Connecticut's Amanda Breedy. 3 gates to go for Amanda Breedy from UConn. And into the tuck and across the stripe is Amanda Breedy with a time of 1:30.92.
Of course, the UConn basketball team often gets all the glory, but they have a very, very strong skiing program as well. Those Huskies can sure ski, boss.
Casey Ryder from the University of Massachusetts now on course into the lower third. 7 gates to go for Ryder. She'll be followed by Liza Dingle from Cornell University. Of course, Liza Dingle's father, the inventor of the Dingle Cam. We'll talk more about that momentarily. While Casey Ryder from the University of Massachusetts crosses the stripe in a time of 1:26.79.
Of course, Casey Ryder, a freshman from UMass, will be joined by her imaginary friends Ralph the Rabbit and Manny the Marinator, who are apparently waiting for her at the finish corral. I'm sure ready to congratulate her on her stellar run.
Now coming out of the middle section into the lower third, it's Cornell University's Liza Dingle. Dingle had a good run going, but looked like she had to scrape some speed in the transition as she tries to get it going again here in the final 8 gates. Liza Dingle now with 3 gates to go. Liza Dingle now across the stripe from the Cornell University in a time of 1:32.09 for Liza Dingle, but a safe run for Liza. She'll get to compete in the second run later this afternoon. And of course, at some point in her life, she will inherit the ownership rights to the Dingle Cam, which is an amazing, I can't even explain it. I can't describe it in really any comprehensible fashion. But we will talk more about the Dingle Cam later on in the broadcast. Meanwhile, from the University of Rochester, Morgan Feeder now across the stripe. Morgan Feeder with a time of 1:29.62, good enough for 35th position. She'll be followed by Wisconsin-Madison's Olivia Radicke. And Syracuse's Kirsten Anderson now on course as well. Clarkson University's Sarah Schaefer just dropping in from the start shack. And it'll be Taya Palick from Sierra Nevada College. As she awaits her first run in the start shack as well. Olivia Radicke from University of Wisconsin at Madison now in her tuck into the final gate and across the stripe. Comes University of Wisconsin at Madison's Olivia Radicke with a time of 1:37.87, good enough for 46th position. Kirsten Anderson now coming into the lower third from Syracuse University. She'll need to pick things up here if she's going to make the top 30 flip, 34th after the second intermediate split. From Syracuse, here comes Kirsten Anderson. And a good lower third she's got. Will it be enough for Kirsten Anderson? Anderson across the stripe in 1:27.80, good enough for 33rd position. So let's run down your top 10 now. It's Nika Mosenthal from Brown in 10th. Caitlin Forbes from St. Anselm in 9th. 8th place belongs to Emma LeBlanc from Brown. Then it's Rocky Mountain College's Mimi Palavara in 7th. Katie Olstead in 6th from St. Olaf. Then your top 5 from UMass, Shannon Bloom in the 5th slot. Samantha Bisnair from the University of British Columbia in 4th. 3rd place, it's Caroline Gleason from Sierra Nevada College. University of Nevada, Reno's Nicole Polshuk in 2nd. And still leading after a masterful run earlier this morning. It is Sierra Nevada College's Matea Firk. Now across the stripe comes Sarah Schaefer from Clarkson University. Schaefer with a time of 1:28.51, good enough for 34th position. Meanwhile, on course into the lower third, it's Sierra Nevada College's Tia Palick. Tia Palick now, with 3 gates to go from Sierra Nevada College, has a fast run going. Let's see how she punches the stripe in a time of 121.45 for Tia Palick. That's good enough for 8th position. So out of bib number 60, we throw down a top 10 finish here. Sierra Nevada College always sporting a very competitive ladies ski team.
That's right. A lot of competitors, even late in the pack, boss. I think that that'll be a good enough run by Tia Palick to put Sierra Nevada into first for today, with Brown hot on their tails and Rocky Mountain College sitting in third.
Tobias Britton now from the University of British Columbia. And across the stripe comes Tobias Britton in a time of 129.20, good enough for 38th position. Meanwhile, from Penn State University on course, it's Allison Kowalski. Kowalski now coming out of the center section into the lower third. She'll be followed by St. Olaf's Madison McLaughlin. And now dropping in from the start shack high above this Monday morning trail at Sunday River from the University of California, Berkeley, it's Lindsay Reichert.
It's now the 21st century.
8 gates to go for Allison Kowalski from Penn State University. Trying to hold on to the speed here in the lower section. And into the final gate and across the finish line into the corral comes Penn State University's Allison Kowalski with a time of 1:34.31, good enough for 49th position. Meanwhile, Madison McLaughlin from St. Olaf has a good run going. 27th after the first intermediate split, 27th after the second intermediate split. Can she hold on to a top 30 and make the flip here in the first run of the ladies' GS National Championship? Madison McLaughlin from St. Olaf punching the stripe and into the corral with a time of 1:26.51, and it is good enough for top 30. 28th position for Madison McLaughlin.
She had a very fast run, boss, and I'm sure she was thinking the whole time of her loving boyfriend, Max Lund, who's definitely been an inspiration to her in all of her ski races.
Lindsay Reichert from the University of California, Berkeley, now coming out of the center section into the lower third. She'll be followed by Clarkson University's Michaela Stebbins, and Megan Thies from Rocky Mountain College awaits at the start shack for run number 1. Matea Firk from Sierra Nevada College setting the standard earlier this morning, the first runner out of the gate, laying down an impressive 1:17.71 time. That is over a second faster than second place Nicole Polshuk. So Polshuk will have her work cut out for her here in run number 2 later this afternoon, as Caroline Cleason will as well. Meanwhile, crossing the stripe from the University of California, Berkeley, it's Lindsay Reichart with a time of 1:54.64, good enough for 56th position. Michaela Stebbins from Clarkson now on course, coming out of the center section. And high atop the mountain in the top third from Rocky Mountain College, it's Megan Thies. In the start shack, awaiting her first run from the University of Minnesota Duluth is Andrea Drusch. She has just dropped in, and she'll be followed by Kelsey Bresnan from the University of Connecticut. Michaela Stebbins having some difficulty in the transition now. She lost all kinds of speed coming over that roller that takes them from the steeps into the flat again. It really is this transition in the center part to the lower third part of the course. And many of the skiers having difficulty, not so much with the left to right action as with the up and down action.
That's right, boss. It's these pitch changes here that are giving these athletes a lot of trouble. We saw a double pole plant from Michaela Stebbins. Usually not a good sign, as she was putting every muscle in her body into generating more energy.
Megan Thies now from Rocky Mountain College. Coming into the final 6 gate, she'll be followed by Minnesota Duluth's Andrea Drusch. And into the finish corral comes Megan Thies from Rocky Mountain College with a time of 1:32.94, good enough for 50th slot. Kelsey Bresnan from the University of Connecticut on course now, wearing bib 68. She's followed by St. Anselm College's Tara Byrne, and Gracie Monk from Cornell University awaits her first run in the start shack. 6 gates to go for Andrea Drusch from the University of Minnesota Duluth. I hope I'm pronouncing Drush right. It might be Drush. We'll try both, and then we've got them all covered. Across the stripe comes Drush from the University of Minnesota Duluth in a time of 136.90, good enough for 53rd.
That's right, boss. And you could see her exhaustion there as she was skiing those last few gates, moving away from the gates and scrubbing some speed there. Not the most aggressive line, but she will get a second run where I'm sure she hopes to improve.
Now it's Kelsey Bresnan from the University of Connecticut with 7 gates to go. Tara Byrne from St. Anselm also on course, and now dropping in from the top, Cornell University's Grace Monks, as Kelsey Bresnan from the University of Connecticut crossing the finish line in a time of 132.45, good enough for 50th position.
Of course, Kelsey Bresnan, a freshman out of UConn. This is her first nationals. I'm sure she's really hoping to be back next year and to have some exciting runs this week.
10 gates to go for Tara Byrne from St. Anselm College. Grace Monks from Cornell University on course. And now dropping in from the top is Melissa Curley from the University of Massachusetts. And across the stripe into the finish corral, it is St. Anselm's Tara Byrne with a time of 132.69, good enough for 51st position. No change in your top 15. In 15th from Rocky Mountain College, Issa Floden. UConn's Brigitte Park in 14th. Jill Clevenger from Clarkson in 13th. Kaya Mosenthal from Brown in 12th. And her younger sister, Nika Mosenthal from Brown in 11th. We'll run down the top 10 for you momentarily. Meanwhile, into the final 4 gates from Cornell University comes Grace Monks. Monks into the tuck. Punching the stripe is Grace Monks from Cornell in a time of 137.45, good enough for 56th position.
That's right, boss, and those top 5 teams have not changed as well. In 5th place, we have Clarkson. 4th place, Rocky Mountain College. 3rd place, St. Olaf. 2nd place, Brown. And 1st place, Sierra Nevada. They currently hold the 1st, 3rd, and 8th spots. That's going to be tough to beat this afternoon, boss.
And now coming across the stripe from the University of Massachusetts, it is Melissa Curley. Melissa Curley crossing the stripe in 131.08, good enough for 47th position. Meanwhile, a good run coming now here from Hillary Coates. Coates in 35th position at the second intermediate split. She'll need to make up some time, but it looks like she's carrying good speed here into the final 8 gates. Will it be enough for the top 30 flip? Here comes Hillary Coates from Syracuse University. Into the tuck, 1 gate to go. Now across the stripe, it's Hillary Coates. And note, 36th position for Hillary Coates with a time of 127.88. St. Olaf's Miranda Ness now on course, followed by Wisconsin-Madison's Rebecca Friends. And Lafayette College's Samantha Liddell at the start shack awaiting run number 1. Meanwhile, into the lower third, Miranda Ness with 10 gates to go. Ness has a good lower third going here. We'll have to see how it adds up with the top 2 parts of the... Oh, and she almost bites it here in the bottom of the race course, but recovers and crosses the stripe, so it won't cost her too much time. Miranda Ness from St. Olaf with a 128.04, and I thought we might have had just a slight little ski out 5 feet from the finish line. How absolutely difficult is that to deal with as you've made your way through 1 minute and 30 seconds of pure unadulterated pain, only to ski out in the last gate. But no, she recovered. Miranda Ness, she'll be back for run number 2 later on this afternoon.
Absolutely right, boss. And she's lucky that happened at the very bottom. That could have cost her a lot of speed up top, but it only cost her a very, very small amount of time, and she crossed the finish with a very impressive time.
Here comes Rebecca Friends from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Across the stripe into the corral, it's Rebecca Friends with a time of 139.00. Next, we'll see bib 76 from Lafayette College, Samantha Liddell. She'll be followed by the University of Washington's Erin Anderson, who is now dropped in for run number 1. In the start shack awaiting her first run, it is Emily Lamoureux from Sierra Nevada College. Now your top 10, still no change. Caitlin Forbes in the 10th slot from St. Anselm's. Emma LeBlanc from Brown in 9th. It is Taya Palick from Sierra Nevada College in 8th. 7th belonging to Rocky Mountain College's Mimi Palavara. Katie Olstead from St. Olaf in 6th. Rounding out your top 5 from UMass, Shannon Bloom in the 5th slot. Samantha Bisnair from the University of British Columbia in 4th. 3rd place belonging to Sierra Nevada College's Caroline Clayson. Nicole Polshuk from the University of Nevada, Reno in 2nd. And still leading from Sierra Nevada, Matea Firk. Now across the stripe, it's Samantha Liddell from Lafayette College in a time of 1:59.51. That's good enough for 67th position. She'll be followed by Washington's Erin Anderson. Erin Anderson now coming into view. Into the center section comes Anderson. Yesterday in the men's snowboard GS, we got to meet Mr. Anderson. I wonder if this is Mrs. Anderson. No, it isn't. Clearly. Erin Anderson from the University of Washington makes her way into the final third. 12 gates to go for Anderson. She'll be followed by Emily Lamoureux from Sierra Nevada College. And Catherine Stewart now from Brown University in the Star Track awaiting run number 1.
We're seeing somewhat of a conservative run by Erin Anderson. It's clear she definitely wants to make that second run and get a shot at the podium, boss.
Now on course, dropping in from Brown University, Catherine Stewart high atop this Monday morning trail. Emily Lamoureux from Sierra Nevada College. Having a tough time here in the center section of the course as she makes her way down that steep pitch, now back into the flow. You know, Alex, it is tough getting started again because once you slow down, once you kind of get out of the rhythm, the left and right swing, the lactic acid just pours in instantaneously. You go back to try to set the next turn, and it's just not there. It doesn't feel the same.
That's right, boss. Having to hike and readjust yourself can be brutal, but she handled it very well. She brought a lot of speed into that last section, and she still had a very impressive time.
Emily Lamoureux from Sierra Nevada College in a time of 1:30.05, good enough for 44th. Meanwhile, Catherine Stewart from Brown University on course. She comes into the final 10 gates. She'll be followed by British Columbia's Kelsey Nilsson. And now on course from the University of Rochester, Brianna Patasak. 3 gates to go, 2 now, 1 gate to go, and across the stripe comes Brown University's Catherine Stewart. In a time of 1:25.66. A great run for Catherine Stewart from Brown University. And that slides her into the 25th position. So she will hope to hold on to that top 30 placement to make the flip for run number 2 starting at 1:30 Eastern Time this afternoon. Of course, we hope you'll join us for live coverage of the ladies' second run of the Giant Slalom Finals. We'll bring it to you here on the USCSA Radio Network as Boss Hogg and Alex Beatty kick it to you live from the Barker Base Lodge at beautiful Sunday River, Maine. Brianna Patasak on course. Just crossing the stripe from the University of British Columbia's Kelsey Nilsson with a time of 1:28.73. Now it's Rochester's Brianna Patasak coming into the lower third. She'll be followed by Penn State University's Rebecca Wong and Rebecca's teammate also from Penn State, Kayla Driscoll.
Of course, Catherine Stewart from Brown threw down a very impressive run. Clearly want to give that Brown team some insurance as they sit in second right now. In case of a fall from one of their top 3 racers in the second run, they'll still finish very well today.
Brianna Patasak from University of Rochester now across the stripe in 1:32.87. And here comes Rebecca Wong from Penn State University. The Nittany Lions well represented here at the USCSA Championships. She'll be followed by her teammate Kayla Driscoll, and then it's Clarkson's Haley Gilmore. Now dropping in from the start shack. Jolie Poirier from St. Anselm's College awaits her first run in the starting gate. As into the final gates comes Rebecca Wong from Penn State University, and across the stripe comes Wong with a time of 1:38.18. Kayla Driscoll now moving through the center section into the lower third. Alex, it looks like conditions really holding up well here as these skiers come down. We are now into bib number 83, so just about 20 more racers to come down, but a lot of action on this trail And it doesn't appear that there is any rutting taking place at all. A very smooth surface, which is really a testament to the race crew here at Sunday River.
Absolutely, boss. Very well-groomed terrain, packed powder conditions, very grippy snow for ski racing. Ideal conditions for these racers, even at the bottom of the pack.
Now crossing the stripe, it is Kayla Driscoll from Penn State with a time of 1:41.51. And soon we'll see Haley Gilmore from Clarkson. Alex, we are going to have probably a 15-degree temperature difference in between the start of race number one, run number one, and the start of run number two. What has to happen in the waxing department to accommodate a 15-degree temperature change?
I will definitely see some waxing, Bob, in the lodge. These racers will take a different color of wax, lots of different colors of wax. They depend on the conditions. Different colors of wax are ideal. We'll see a lot of rutting in this course. As it starts to heat up, the sun may hide behind the back of Sunday River. That might change the lighting conditions as well, so these racers will have to adapt to the post-lunch conditions at this race.
Haley Gilmore from Clarkson University crossing the stripe in 1:33.43. And here comes St. Anselm's Jolie Poirier. She is now into the finish corral with a time of 1:34.27. Lafayette College's Rebecca Scharf now on course. We'll also see University of Connecticut's Jennifer Lipes and Syracuse's Kelsey Dignas at the top awaiting her first run. Still no change in the top 10. Forbes, LeBlanc, Palak, Palavara, and Ulfstead. Rounding in the top 5, it's Bloom, Bisnair, Clayson, Polshuk, and Sierra Nevada College's Matea Firk with a lightning fast run. First out of the box today at 1:17.71. Over a second faster than second place Polshuk. Polshuk's going to have her work cut out for her, as will Clayson, Bisnair, and Bloom in the second run today. Now across the stripe comes Rebecca Scharf from Lafayette College in a time of 1:48.44. And it looks like we have a course hold as they ski out some of the ruts high. It looks like we might have some rutting up high along the course. And as you can see, Alex, this sun, a beautiful, gorgeous bluebird sky and a bright sun today. But that will kind of wreak havoc as it starts to warm up this snow surface. It will allow these last runners to have to deal with different conditions than the first group of runners had to deal with.
That's right, boss. The conditions will definitely soften this afternoon. And with all these racers putting everything out there in that second run, we will see a lot of rutting very close to the gates as these racers take very, very aggressive lines in pursuit of national championship gold.
If you're just joining us here on the USCSA Radio Network, we welcome you to live coverage of the 2012 USCSA National Championships here from beautiful Sunday River, Maine. We are broadcasting to you live from the Barker Mountain Base Lodge at the bottom of the Monday Morning Trail. This is, of course, the site of the Alpine competition here. Today we bring you live coverage of the women's giant slalom. Both runs will be back on the air at 1:30 Eastern Time this afternoon for run number 2, where we will actually crown our ladies champion. Then tomorrow it's on to the men. Live coverage begins at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning here on the USCSA Radio Network. Then back again on Friday at 10 a.m. for the women's slalom. And we wrap things up in our Alpine coverage on Saturday with the men's slalom. Both runs all being covered here, live on the internet at www.uscsa.com. Back to live racing action here as Kelsey Dignas from Syracuse University makes her way into the lower third in the final 8 gates. She'll be followed by Sophia House from the University of Massachusetts and Minnesota Duluth's Kelsey Weiserek now on course. Under the stripe comes Kelsey Dignas from Syracuse University with a time of 1:33.64.
Of course, Kelsey Dignas, the freshman out of Syracuse, self-described team mom, and that is often the most important role on the team, getting those racers food, getting them ready, lift tickets, training. The most important racer is often the manager, boss.
So hats off to Kelsey Dignas from Syracuse University. I know there are some well-fed ski racers that appreciate all she does for the Syracuse team, and I bet she's got them all out there cheering for her, and she will get a second run later this afternoon. Kayla Weiserek now from the University of Minnesota Duluth. She'll be followed by Rocky Mountain College's Heidi Armstrong, and now dropping in from the top start shack, Cornell University's Caitlin Wolcott. You know, Alex, we knew we were looking at a fast run this morning when Matea Furk came down the hill. Not a lot of snow spray, a clean edge, huge hip swing action left to right. You could tell it just was a natural run for Furk. It appeared she wasn't fighting any of it, and the time is there to prove that, in fact, it was a clean and fast run for Furk.
That's right, boss, and we haven't really seen anyone challenge it. Nicole Polchuk has come close. She's a second out. She'll have to work really hard in that second run to make up that time.
Across the finish line, it's the University of Minnesota Duluth's Kayla Weiserek. Weiserek with a time of 1:37.16, good enough for 66th position. Here comes Heidi Armstrong, and she punches the stripe into the corral from Rocky Mountain College. It's Heidi Armstrong with a time of 1:30.90. Now on course, the University of British Columbia's Samantha Davis. And she'll be followed by Rachel Brandt, now dropping in from the University of Rochester. Amanda Engelhardt from Brown University awaits her first run at the start shack. Shannon Bloom from the University of Massachusetts in the 5th slot. Samantha Bisnair from British Columbia in 4th. Still Caroline Clayson from Sierra Nevada in 3rd. Nicole Polchuk from Nevada Reno in 2nd. And the first run still being led by Sierra Nevada's Matea Furk.
Samantha Davis is really throwing down the gauntlet here as she makes her way to the bottom. I can see her driving her whole body into every turn to set and hold those edges on this beautiful course. She is really carving there, boss.
Yeah, she's got a great run going here in the lower third. Samantha Davis from the University of British Columbia into the tuck now, and across the stripe comes Samantha Davis in a time of 1:29.54, good enough for 44th position. So a respectable run from Davis as we now wait for University of Rochester's Rachel Brandt. Brandt had a tough top section, 71st after the first intermediate split, but then made it up to 57th in the second time gate. Let's see if she can keep it going here. She'll be followed by Brown University's Amanda Engelhardt, and then Sierra Nevada College's Melissa Daniels dropping in from the start shack. Meanwhile, here at the finish line and across the stripe comes Rachel Brandt from Rochester in a time of 1:31.46.
I have here that Rachel Brandt's fondest ski team memory is making it to today's Nationals. So clearly a testament to how dedicated and excited these athletes are to be here competing at beautiful Sunday River, boss.
Rachel Brandt will be back for run number 2, but meanwhile, Brown University's Amanda Engelhardt has a great run going here as she comes into the final gate and tucks in. Across the stripe comes Amanda Engelhardt from Brown, and it's good enough for a top 30 position. 1:26.42 for Amanda Engelhardt, and that's going to put her right close to the bubble here and making the flip in the top 30 from the first run. She wants to hold on to that position. In fact, that could put her first or second out of the start gates in the afternoon session.
Absolutely, boss. You can tell she really wanted to make the flip there. She was moving very fast from the back of the pack. Very impressive stuff.
And now it's Melissa Daniels from Sierra Nevada College. A great run for Daniels as Daniels crosses the stripe in 1:22.91. That's good enough for 18th position. So coming out of start position 100, Melissa Daniels from Sierra Nevada College throws down a top 20 time of 1:22.91. That pushes Amanda Engelhardt from Brown University onto the bubble in slot number 30. Will she be able to hold on? Still a couple of racers to go. It's Kelly Carnop now from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Amanda Engelhardt nail-biting here in the finish corral. Wants to keep that 30th position, which would cause her to be the first racer out of the gate for run number 2 this afternoon at 1:30. So late in the pack, Melissa Daniels from Sierra Nevada College comes and throws one down for a top 20 time. Meanwhile, Kelly Carnop from the University of Wisconsin-Madison crosses the stripe in 1:40.30. Now it's St. Olaf's Alexandra Anderson. Anderson, she'll be followed by Tori Anderson from Whitman College. the matrix, duplicating Anderson's left and right here in the women's competition. And now across the stripe comes Alexandria Anderson from St. Olaf College in a time of 1:30.95. Tori Anderson from Whitman College on course. She'll be followed by the United States Military Academy's Jennifer Parsons.
Of course, Alexandra Anderson, a great ski racer and an even better student, posting a 4.37 GPA, unheard of in collegiate academics. So a triple nerd score for Alexandra Anderson, and we wish her all the best in her second run.
Now crossing the finish line from Whitman College, it's Tori Anderson in a time of 1:30.51. And here comes the Army athletes. Now coming out of the center section into the the lower third from Army, it's Jennifer Parsons. She'll be followed by her teammate Alexandria Lycan. And Lexi Dreschel now from Whitman College has dropped in, wearing bib number 106. Awaiting her first run, also from Army, is Ashley Murray in the start shack. Meanwhile, with 8 gates to go, it's Jennifer Parsons. Here comes the United States Military Academy's Jennifer Parsons, as Parsons crosses the stripe in 1:39.92. Her teammate Alexandria Lycan now coming into the lower third. 15 gates to go for Lycan. Lexi Dreschel now on course from Whitman College. She's followed by Ashley Murray, also from Army.
And boss, I have here that Allie Lycan out of West Point, a freshman, really loves skiing, a fact that no one would have picked up on if I hadn't made it clear right there.
Did you see what her favorite mountain was?
Oh, it is Sugarloaf. I know, a favorite mountain of Scott Boss Hogg as well.
I just happened to see it on the page. Now across the stripe, it's Alexandria Lycan from Army. 1:38.36. Here comes Lexi Dreschel from Whitman College. She'll be followed by Ashley Murray from the United States Military Academy and Whitman College's Anna Stebbins. Stebbins, our last ski racer, so we're almost here at the end of the ladies' first run, as Lexi Dreschel from Whitman College crossing the stripe in 1:29.40, good enough for 46th position. 2 racers to cross the stripe, and we have completed the first run of the ladies' giant slalom competition here from Sunday River. All part of our live coverage of the 2012 USCSA National Championships on the USCSA Radio Network.
Of course, only 2 racers left, boss, but as Sierra Nevada's Melissa Daniels proved, anything can happen, as she came from the back of the pack and changed almost the entire standings from that first run.
Ashley Murray now with 10 gates to go from the United States Military Academy. And our final racer wearing bib number 108, it's Anna Stebbins from Whitman College. She is on course as well. So here are our last 2 ladies, and what has proved to be an absolutely fantastic first run for the women's giant slalom here on the Monday Morning Trail. Crossing the stripe from Army, it's Ashley Murray in a time of 1:54.27. And now with 3 gates to go, our final lady racer for the first run from Whitman College. Here comes Anna Stebbins. Anna Stebbins now into the finish corral with a time of 1:36.30. So let's go over your top 15 here as we get ready for the second run at 1:30 this afternoon. We're going to wait for scoring to put that back on the screen for us. And we will run down our top 15. Meanwhile, why don't you give us some team information, Alex?
In the meantime, boss, we've got in 10th place, University of Connecticut. 9th place, Syracuse University. 8th place, University of Massachusetts Amherst. 7th place, University of British Columbia. 6th place, St. Anselm. 5th place, Clarkson University. 4th place, Rocky Mountain College. 3rd place, St. Olaf. 2nd place, Brown University, and sitting in first right now with 3 fantastic runs from their top 3 racers is Sierra Nevada College.
We will run down the top 15 for you here momentarily. Meanwhile, we invite you to join us once again for live coverage of run number 2 beginning at 1:30 this afternoon. All right, here is our top 15. In 15th place, in 15th position from Rocky Mountain College, it is Issa Floden. In 14th, University of Connecticut's Brigitte Park. In 13th, Jill Clevenger from Clarkson University. Brown University's Kaya Mosenthal in the 12th slot. Her sister, Nika Mosenthal from Brown in the 11th position. Now your top 10 from St. Anselm's College. It's Caitlin Forbes. In the 9th position, Emma LeBlanc from Brown. In 8th, it is Taya Palick from Sierra Nevada College. Taking 7th spot, Mimi Palavara from Rocky Mountain College. And in 6th spot, it is Katie Olvstead from St. Olaf. Now rounding out your top 5 from the University of Massachusetts, Shannon Bloom in the 5th position. In 4th, it's the University of British Columbia's Samantha Bisnair. Caroline Clayson in 3rd from Sierra Nevada College. Nicole Polshuk from the University of Nevada at Reno in 2nd. And leading after run number 1 with a lightning time of 1:17.71 from the Sierra Nevada College, it is Matea Firk. Matea Firk will be the one to beat in the second run today. Nicole Polshuk, Caroline Clayson, Samantha Bisnair, and Shannon Bloom. Alex will have their work cut out for them in run number 2 today.
That's right, boss. They've got some ground to make up there, but I'm sure that they have nothing left but to give it all there for that second run. They will put it all out there with nothing to lose. They will seek to take that first spot away from Matea Firk.
Don't forget to join us back here at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time as we will bring you live coverage of run number 2. And it will be exciting. We will see who is going to win the ladies' 2012 USCSA National Championship here on the Monday Morning Trail. We will start our broadcast coverage at about 1:15 this afternoon, so we hope you'll tune in at www.uscsa.com. On a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon in the western mountains of Maine. Bluebird skies, temperatures now reaching 40 degrees here on the Monday Morning Trail. We could not have dialed in a better day for championship ski racing. If you're anywhere near the western Maine mountains, we invite you to come join us all week long for incredible snowboard, alpine skiing, and Nordic skiing competitions. And we will bring you a live coverage of many of those events here on the USCSA Radio Network. The 2012 USCSA National Championships are brought to you in part by Patagonia. Their mission to build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, and to use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Learn more at Patagonia.com. Patagonia, proud supporters of the USCSA. And by Reliable Racing, whether it's Alpine and Nordic ski racing apparel and equipment, hill and event supplies, sports timing equipment, or hard-to-find race gear, Reliable Racing is your one-stop shop. Check them out on the web at ReliableRacing.com. Today's broadcast coverage also brought to you by Yeti Apparel. When you're facing truly abominable weather, the Yeti has you covered. Visit them at YetiApparel.com. Yeti, proud supporters of the USCSA. And by Hurricane Racing. When it's custom team, Alpine, Nordic, or cycling race apparel you seek, Hurricane Racing delivers. Demand the very best in custom printed ski suits, jackets, pants, and race apparel. Demand Hurricane Racing. At HurricaneRacing.com, official sponsors of the 2012 USCSA National Championships. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more live broadcast coverage at 1:15 Eastern Time this afternoon as we bring you run number 2 of the ladies' Giant Slalom Finals. You'll want to tune in to find out if Matea Firk can hold off the field and become the 2012 USCSA National Champion. That's going to do it here from the base of the Monday Morning Trail at the Barker Mountain Broadcast Center at Sunday River, Maine. On behalf of Alex Beatty, this is Boss Hogg saying so long, everybody.
It gets our spirits up, and it makes us want to get down.